It's a Friday snow day. Woo! Snow day, fun day, snow day, fun day, snow day, fun day. Welcome into PHLY Phillies Podcast. We've got Jamie Lynch, Tyler Zulli, myself, Renee Washington. And guys, we are 69 days away.
Nice.
Maybe you want to do it or should? Okay, there you go.
Nice.
And 25 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting. So it's getting closer to that February 14th day and the start of the actual season with opening day now at 69. Guys, we're getting closer. Happy Friday, everybody. Nice to see we've got our usual friends in the chat. Welcome into our
Tyler,
homes.
nothing jumps out about that number to you, does it?
I have no idea what you're talking. No
For all
idea
the
what you're
children
talking
here.
No
well,
idea.
it's one less than 70. It's a good hurdle to get over or under.
Yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
I see we've got Chris, Scott, Matt in the chat. Oh, that rhymes.
Matt
Hello,
Deckert's already
Steven.
talking cocktails.
I've got my drink. You guys got your drinks?
No, I have a coffee and a iced tea. I'm still
It's
catching
not-
up on.
I mean,
There's going to be some bourbon in that coffee mug right after the show.
there's no liquor in mine either.
Mine was just a
Yeah,
castle.
no, of course not.
Mine is. All right, let's see how well you know me. What's in my cup?
Tea.
Tea with
Or
vodka in it, gin.
there's some
Maybe some
sort of
juice?
juice. There's a juice.
Yeah, some kind of juice.
Hot chocolate.
No.
It's a snow day. You have hot chocolate on a snow day. I was gonna make a tea though, and then I was like, no, it's a snow day. Like when I was growing up, we'd always have hot chocolate on snow days. All right, so guys, listen. Jamie, you did make your own coffee, so there's a small win for today.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did not leave the house today.
All right, now this is fun. I kind of am enjoying this. It's like we get a little sneak peek into your houses and also get a chance to chat more casually. Are we jamming?
Yeah, as Tyler said, the Pearl Bad Jam Religion show behind me, aka the last show ever at the Spectrum, was a good one. And that was on a Phillies World Series night too. And we were talking about it briefly before the show. It was one of those nights. I think somebody was it the Flyers or Sixers might have been in action too, over at the bigger arena. So you had Pearl Jam closing down the Spectrum. You had Phillies World Series game going on, and you had somebody in the Wells Fargo Center. So it was just like one of those nights down at the complex you'll never forget.
That's incredible. You love those moments. Yeah. And I'm glad you had fun at your concert last night. I know Matt is asking in the chat about your concert because before we talk baseball, we want to check in. You're here. You're not hungover. How was it?
Yeah, it was awesome. Digital Planets, a 90s hip hop group that's from Philly originally, opened up. So like a lot of old school hip hop heads came out for that. And then Black Pumas was the main act, and they were awesome. Really, really good.
Well, we've got lots to get into on the baseball front too. And by lots, we mean not a lot. So it's Fridays with Foley. We've got some trivia. We are talking Josh Hader. We're talking Robert Stephenson. We're talking Bryson Stott. Plenty to get into today as we are having a fun snow day. So let's start off the top with someone who didn't make the top list, Bryson Stott. Now, this was very surprising to me, guys. The top 10 list that came out for second baseman, MLB posted a list, and there is no Bryson Stott on that list. We've got Mookie Betts, we've got Jose Altuve, we've got Marcus Semien, Luis Reyes, Ketel Marte, Matt McClain, Andres Jimenez, Edward Julian, Zach Geloff, Nico Horner. No Bryson Stott. And I saw other lists that have come out. There was like a fantasy baseball list that came out that had Bryson around number 11. I saw various MLB individuals that posted lists. So it was like Sarah Langs who posted him, and she had him at number nowhere on her list. And then we had Vince Gennaro had Bryson at number 10. I saw Mike Petriello had Bryson at number 8. So all these lists, but MLB's actual list did not have Bryson Stott. Are we over hyping Bryson? Is it us? Is it them? I feel like it's them.
No, I mean, I think there's a case you can make. Look, those top 6, I think, are pretty locked in. McClain up through Betts. The first 2 are Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
So it's hard to put him above that. Arise, led the league in hitting last year. Ketel Marte, as much of a pain in the ass as he was in the NLCS, is really, really good. Matt McClain is emerging. Now it gets interesting. 7, 8, 9, 10. And I can't wait to hear Tyler, because him and my wife might be Bryson Stott's #1 fan club. Andres Jimenez, I think, is probably one of the best fielders in all of baseball. Can you make the case that Bryson's offense is better than Jimenez? I think you can, but does his glove supersede a top 3 Gold Glove for Bryson Stott? And then the other 3, I would probably have Jimenez slightly ahead of him just because of that. But then Julian, Geloff, they're still fresh, like still wet behind the ears. I think Phillies Nation pointed out that combined, those two have only played, I think, 178 or 180 innings. So if you're projecting them ahead, okay, but I think you can make the case Bryson Stott is ahead of both of those. And then Nico Horner, had a really, really good year. So I think you can make the case he's in that back 3, but, at the end of the day, it's just somebody's list.
And guys, I'll be honest with you. Like the Stott, how much I love Stott, and I think that probably deserving the top 10 selection. But the one that bothers me way more than Stott not being on here, did Ozzie Albies die?
That's a good point. I didn't even realize that.
Did something happen that we don't know about? Because there is not a planet in the solar system that Ozzie Albies is not a top 10 second baseman in Major League Baseball. That's insane to me.
So
that is kind of nuts.
The other 3 lists that I saw have him at 4, 5, and 6.
Neil Dever says the fan vote has him at number 6, Renee. So he is getting recognized.
I don't understand how he didn't even make the top 10, but then on some that he's at 4, as high as 4. That's a huge difference. I could see, okay, Bryson, we're talking about being 8, 9, or 10. So you're right on the cusp of actually making that top 10. But like 4 to not on the list at all is a very wide margin. So that was very interesting. But every list that comes out, it's interesting. There's always a couple names that jump out at you that you're like, huh? How did that name make the list or not make the list?
And it might be one of those things where like Bryson just hasn't gotten the national recognition that he deserves yet. Because, we watch him every single day and we see him fouling off pitches and keeping at bats alive and like all the little things that kind of differentiate you into being a great player. So maybe he's just not on that stage nationally yet, and we see it already. But I think he's a top 10 second baseman. The fact Albies wasn't on there is offensive.
And I believe it was Todd Zalecki that put a piece out that was talking about Bryson Stott as the player that he's really expecting to have a breakout year because of that. For us, it doesn't seem like 2024 should be a breakout year. It felt like 2023 was. But on the national stage, he still hasn't gained enough of that attention where he's a household name in that same sense as names like Jose Altuve and Ozzie Albies. So I do think this might be the year that he goes from just being a Philly household name to more people around Major League Baseball knowing him, which then would put him on this top 10 list. So I think it is
Boydie
a sign
and
of
Harry
like,
agree, Renee.
Oh, brother.
They agree with your point. They think it's excellent.
It's been a while. It's been a while since we saw those two.
I forgot about them. Wow.
Everybody say hi to Whitey and Harry. They agree. Excellent point, Renee. They're bobbing their heads in agreement.
I mean, guys, I think
with friends.
The one thing with Bryson Stott is if his lefty-righty splits improve this year, the way that they took a step last year. Because let's be honest, he was awful against lefties 2 seasons ago. Last year he was better, and if he takes another incremental step, there's no way that you can leave the guy off a top 10 list. It's just, I just genuinely wonder, like, do these lists sometimes get made? And I don't mean with Stott in this case. I mean, I'm going back to the Albies thing for a second. Like,
Albies is way more offensive.
That is way more offensive.
Do these lists get made just because they know we're going to talk about it and our friends are going to talk about it and we're going to do the barroom discussion about who's the best and blah, blah, blah? Like, do these lists get made sometimes with that in mind of like, if we leave off a prominent person, we're going to get clicks and engagements and things like that.
I don't know if this one's that evil. Like, it seems like they just forgot. Like, did they forget Ozzie Albies is a second baseman? I think MBD said, he was top 20 in MVP voting last year. Like, the dude is awesome. I think they just missed him.
For second baseman. I mean, I think it's a matter. Oh, okay. I think it's a matter of, to your point, Tyler. Actually, I don't know. I don't think it's a clickbait thing, but I do think there's not enough of maybe voices that are saying, "Hey, by the way, we forgot someone." So I don't know. I feel like I'd love to see who was involved in this list, and maybe who was not involved in this list that would have helped make it a little bit more accurate. But yes, I don't think it's a clickbait thing. I think for this situation, it was.
They had to have forgotten.
Really, I don't know how you forget.
I don't know how somebody missed that, but it seems to me like that's the only reasonable explanation for this. Yeah, they just were like, "Ah, shit, we forgot Ozzie Alcides as a second baseman." Ooh.
That's a bad forget. That's a really bad.
It's real bad.
Yeah, it's odd. I mean, we're talking top 10, and he's a top 2, 3, 4, and he's not even on the list. So very, very interesting. But it also reminds us these lists. There is no right or wrong list. At the end of the day, this is one of those, as you talk about the barroom discussions, talking in your basement with your friends, maybe. That this is just a conversation starter, but there truly is, except for maybe 1 through 3, 4, 5. You can even say that bottom half of the list is all opinionated, and we're gonna have our own list at one point, guys. Don't you worry, because we're gonna be coming up with our own top 10 list by positions. We're starting very soon. It's Friday. It's the end of the week, so we're not starting today, but we'll be starting that up most likely next week. So we'll have our own list.
Absolutely. Hammered says, are they targeting Braves fans for the rage bait now in front of us? Have we fallen off that much? Maybe they know the Braves are down real bad after the past 2 postseasons, and they're rage targeting. Yeah,
Phillies Twitter has to step our game up. It's time to step things up a notch, because I'm getting that vibe too.
By the way, guys, MBD brings this up. We're talking about Bryson Stott. Yes, his OPS split righty lefties is significantly closer than what I made it out to be. Horrendous was a strong word. 2023 was difficult, or 2022, excuse me, was difficult at times for Bryson Stott, and it's why that you saw kind of a mix and match in the middle portions of the season with Bryson Stott, playing short at the time. My point was to try to highlight he's gotten significantly better against lefties in 2023 than he did in 2022. Horrendous was a strong word.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Last year, Bryson Stott was like an honorable mention for a top 10 list. He was in that category of like people to keep an eye on, maybe in the future. But you could make the argument that in 2023, the improvements that he made were enough to get him a spot at that 8, 9, or 10 spot. But I will say, if he goes on and performs like he should this year, he better be in the top 10 next year, period.
Well, Renee, I can tell you just a little trick of the trade. If he wants to really be on that top 10 list next year, he'll start hitting up Bagels & Co. Because it's delicious, nutritious, and it's affordable. And they bring the best of New York right to you here in Philly. They have those huge Brooklyn-style bagels. They're very large, hence the Brooklyn Jersey style, and they have a huge variety, usually 15 to 20 different types to choose from daily. They'll do seasonal bagels. We talked about the artichoke Eagles bagel. We just made that up. I don't know if they actually have that. But they get into the sports. Yeah, I think they should too. I mean, I like artichokes a lot, so I'd give it a whirl. The Eagles choke. Maybe they'll do an Eagles bagel. Sixers and Flyers are hot. Maybe they'll do a Owen Tippett goal because he's on fire right now. Huge cream cheese variety, 30 different flavors and schmears. They have their staples as well as their seasonal stuff. For instance, when the Eagles are good, not right now, they'll do cream cheeses. They're going to have Sixers cream cheeses and some Phillies promotional stuff as well. And they're an affordable brand, so you get a lot of food for cheap. And in today's world, in this economy, it is key because they've debated raising their prices, but they don't want to be some bougie-ass place that you only go to on the weekends. They want to be your everyday bagel place. And they have a ton of repeat customers because they have really good coffee, too. And it's not going to cost you $7.50 a cup. So don't go to those other big name places like Dunkin' and Starbucks and get a subpar product when you can get better product for the same price point at Bagels & Company. For the best Brooklyn style bagels made right here in Philly, head to thebagelsandco.com/store-locator/ to find the closest Bagels & Co. near you.
Jamie, maybe we can get them to run with an artichoke Eagles bagel. That's the only thing we might get the Eagles to run with. But let's also talk about Rocket Money, because as we're mentioning, saving in this economy, you can save a lot with Rocket Money. And Rocket Money is a personal finance app that allows you to see all of your finances right on your phone. So now as you're scrolling through your phone, it makes it so much easier in one spot to check out all your transactions. I was actually just checking out mine this morning and being able to see, where's your money going? What bills are you paying towards? What subscriptions do you have? What refunds are you getting? Or what are some questionable transactions that maybe have happened that are unique that Rocket Money is flagging and alerting you to? They help make sure that you know exactly where your spending is going each and every month. And they'll even help you by trying to cancel any unwanted subscription. So let's say you have that subscription for $3 every month. You don't know where it's going. Rocket Money will take care of it and cancel it for you. So what I love about Rocket Money is they have helped save over 5 million users, not just me, over 5 million users. And I've helped save their members an average of $720 a year. And with that, over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. So don't be creepy and have those unwanted subscriptions like Jamie is being right now. Be smart. Be on top of things with Rocket Money. So stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/PHLY. That's rocketmoney.com/PHLY. Save so you can buy some bobbleheads, some coffee, some hats, whatever it is you want to buy. Mm-hmm. But listen, I don't have anything cool. I feel like I need to have something. Oh, I have something. I'll be back.
I'm a child, Renee. This is my Bryce Harper Funko from last year.
This is like the only cool thing I have, and I feel like it's so cool, but it's a soccer. Oh no, I need to take the tape out. It's a soccer tape dispenser.
And then I have this one as well here on my desk. This guy's name is I brought him back from Australia with me. His name is Booney, and he is an Australian cricket legend. Apparently, he used to drink like 60 beers after cricket matches. So everybody say hi to Booney.
All right. Let's move along.
Wade Boggs style, baby.
Yeah. He's basically the Wade Boggs of Australian cricket.
He's massive looking. All right. Let's talk about another man that's on our radar, and that's not Jamie's friend's Booney. And it's not bobblehead, guys. Jamie's just going off the rails here because he's hanging in his basement. He's having way too much fun. So let's talk about Robert Stephenson. Yes. Okay. I'm going to start a countdown. I'm going to update the scorecard for how many times Jamie is interrupting at being a child. This is the real reason why we can't work from home, guys. This is the real reason. All right. Robert Stephenson has entered the chat. Now, reports have come out, and this guy was pretty excited that I saw the tweet come out. John Morosi tweeted it, but Ken Rosenthal was the one that was dropping the news. The Josh Hader talks have picked up with Houston. We'll touch on that after we talk about Robert. But according to Ken Rosenthal, Chandler Rome, John Morosi, the market is moving forward for Robert Stephenson, the top available righty reliever. And the teams that have been in the mix, as we like to say, the Mets, the Dodgers, and the Phillies. So the Phillies have some interest in possibly landing Robert Stephenson. Now, for Robert Stephenson, there's a lot of positives here. First of all, he's got the Caleb Cotham connection. Of course, they were teammates back in 2016 with the Reds. So there's a positive. The thing that we want to keep in mind financially, Stephenson's market initially projected around 4-year, $36 million contract in free agency. We know relievers are not hot on the market right now, but I mean, we've talked about Josh Hader. Would you be more interested in Robert Stephenson? I think, to me, Robert Stephenson, looking at the way that he improved last season, definitely had a lot more of an upswing of why we'd be interested in Stephenson. A very interesting time with Pittsburgh, gets traded to Tampa Bay, and now the numbers that he was putting up at 30 years old make him a lot more interesting, a lot more of a guy that you want on the market. So I'm interested in Robert Stephenson. I think that's all I've got. I'm not like thrilled. I'm not excited because this is where the market is right now. But Robert Stephenson to the Phillies would be a solid move, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, he's my top one in the bullpen. He had a really, really good second half of the year once he got traded. 60 strikeouts in only 38 and a third innings. He has that connection. Oddly enough, he was part of the Jeff Hoffman to Cincinnati and Colorado trade, so he'd be rejoining potentially a guy he was part of a trade with, which is a little fun fact. But yeah, I have interest in him. He was really good down in Tampa. Tampa seems to do that, and I always have Jose Alvarado in mind when we talk about getting somebody in the bullpen from Tampa and kind of fixing some of the issues. And you look at Jeff Hoffman and some of the guys that have really thrived here under Caleb Cotham. The fact he has that rapport with them from previous stints, it's like, yeah, sure, bring him in. I think he's the best remaining. That being said, some of those other teams you mentioned from Morosi that are also interested in him are probably more desperate to get a bullpen arm than the Phillies are, because the Phillies, as much as we're bored by this offseason, they're in a pretty good spot in the bullpen. Yeah, we want another arm, but those other teams might be a little more desperate and looking to spend.
Yeah, and as you talk about, in 18 appearances with the Pirates, the numbers that Stephenson had, a 1.429 whip, 5.14 ERA with 17 strikeouts in 14 innings, and then 42 appearances after the trade. As you mentioned, the improvement, his ERA dropped to 2.35, but also with the Rays, he was able to adjust his slider to unlock an extra 4 miles per hour of velocity, which definitely helped his numbers go from an 84.85 to 88.89 after the trade. So Tyler, a lot of positives in how he improved, and now to be reunited with Caleb Cotham would be an extra bonus, because we know Caleb can work some magical ways and help Stephenson be a great addition.
Yeah, the one thing you brought up was the evolution of the velo on the slider, and it's almost to a point where they are differentiating it as two different pitches. When he throws it softer, it's still a slider. When he throws it a little bit harder, they're almost differentiating it as a cutter at this point. And the addition of that cutter posted a 12-run value last year. The Tampa Bay Times, in fact, at one point tracked at bats that ended in him throwing that harder cutter at 68 at one point throughout the season, and he gave up 1 hit on those 68 at bats when they labeled it a cutter. He struck out 37 of those hitters. But on top of that, the whiff rate was almost 60%. The strikeout rate was 51.2%. You can call it a slider. You can call it a hard slider. You can call it a little bit of a heavy cutter, however you want to label it. The addition of that pitch or the tweak of that pitch clearly unlocks something in this guy. Mm-hmm. Add him to this bullpen where you've got a bunch of dudes who throw hard and have good moving stuff, whether it be Alvarado's cutter or, Kerkering's slider, or
Tyler, we talked about this yesterday with the Ani, the guy in the R&D department, how he was responsible for encouraging Hoffman to throw that more. So if he's already unlocked something, maybe they see something else in him. I think what did you say? 4 years, 36, Renee? Is that what the estimated rumor
4 years,
was?
30.
Yeah,
36. 4 years, 36 is what the number is.
I mean, Hader's great and all, but that's $100 million. So when you're talking about 36 compared to 100, I think it's the move. And hopefully they can beat these other teams out.
I was going to say the other important thing is it's the Phillies, Mets, and Dodgers, and you don't want him to go to the Mets or the Dodgers. So
Mets haven't done shit, so they're probably itchy fingered.
Exactly, agreed. I would love to see him in Philly. I think I'd rather have Stephenson. His numbers are better, but also his financial numbers are better. So to be able to get him for 4 years, $36 million, sounds like a great deal. I want to also take a time to just say hello to everybody in the chat. I see K_Red, Spinorama, and DeBar down backhand. That goal was incredible. Incredible. Owen is, oh my Lord. Yeah, Tippett, we saw
Owen Tippett is sexy, man.
I wish we were talking Flyers right now, because that goal was and he made it look easy. That's what it was, graceful. It was beautiful. And then
a lot of people are saying that's a statement win, including Rich Hoffman in our morning newsletters. Big statement win last night. And
by the way, the Timmy Saunders goal, having done so many broadcasts with him, I cannot get enough of the Tim Saunders Dipsy Do call.
I haven't heard it yet.
Oh my gosh, it was fantastic.
I'll have to check that out.
Too. Also, I want to say hello. We've got Dr. Nighthawk. You made it. You're on time. You've made great timing. Also, CMC 62480 as well as Stephen Garrison. We've got some more friends in the chat. It's a snow day. We're having fun. We're all snowed in.
Our friend
We're
Lisa she's an Avs fan.
Oh, Lisa.
I knew Lisa was a big hockey lady, but she's an Avs fan, so she's going to the game tomorrow.
Well, I hope you enjoy the game, Lisa. And I also want to say thank you, Martian Lynch. I've been telling you guys that Tyler looks like Trey Turner. And now that you can finally, oh, wait, he's this way. Now that you can finally see him, doesn't he look like Trey Turner? I do say I don't love, actually, I like the fact that we're at home because I'm in my pajamas, especially from the waist down. But more importantly, Tyler, everybody gets to see your face. Like, we get to see you every day. And I just cannot unsee Trey Turner. Thank you.
I don't see it. I mean, I'll take it. He's a handsome fella. I just don't see it.
Right. You just resemble Trey Turner. All right. So what's up, guys? Still hit that thumbs up button. Join the chat. Let's have fun on this snow day. Also, as we talk about Robert Stephenson and we talk about underrated, maybe there's somebody that's a little overrated. I don't know. That's Josh Hader. So Josh Hader right now has been a name that still is on the market, much like Stephenson's been on the market. Josh Hader's been on the market. We've been seeing his name bounce around team to team, the Rangers. Most recently with that report that came out by John Morosi about Stephenson, and also dropped the news that the Astros have joined in on the discussion around Josh Hader. So it's the Astros, the Yankees, the Rangers that are all the favorites for Josh Hader, as well as Hector Neris. So that was pretty interesting to me. I'm like, you know what? Bye. Go ahead. Wherever you want to land, it's fine. I just don't want Josh Hader with the Phillies. I definitely would rather have Robert Stephenson. But Josh Hader's still on the market, and then another team in the mix for Josh Hader, guys.
Yeah, the Astros, they're just like quietly always there. It's been like a decade of absolute dominance for them. So if they go and get Josh Hader, like, you might as well just pencil him back into the ALCS or something, because they just won't go away. Everything they seem to do works.
I don't think you need to pencil them in even with Hader. What 7 consecutive ALCSs they've made?
It's insane.
Another year or two.
Guys, can I shamelessly plug my article for a second? Now that we're talking about
absolutely, Tyler.
So go ahead, plug away. Do your thing.
One of the reasons Hader makes a ton of sense.
Go, girl.
The money's odd because I think the Astros are up against it a little bit. But one of the reasons Hader makes a ton of sense is Ryan Presley only has 1 year left on his deal, and it's a mutual option for $15 million. So if for any reason the Astros go, yeah, we're a little strapped for cash, they've already talked about maybe moving Framber Valdez. There's weird talks about maybe a Bregman trade, which is insane to me. But if they're a little strapped for cash, if they move on from Presley because of that $15 million mutual option, they're going to be a little thin in the back end of the bullpen, especially if Neris doesn't re-sign. Hader makes sense from a logistical standpoint, but from a monetary standpoint, I'm not entirely sure they have the capability of doing that.
Great points. And you guys go check out Tyler's been dropping some awesome articles.
That's my plug. That's it.
Plug away.
Check it out. allphly.com. Yeah.
Yes, Tyler's been dropping some great articles. As you guys always get to hear Tyler's insight on the show, he's got a lot of knowledge, a lot of numbers and players and thoughts that are really worth listening to or reading. So check that out. Of course, we also have, between Tyler and John, you've got so much great Phillies sports content, Phillies content in general. So check it out on our website because it's a great
Tyler,
read.
me and you, since I don't write very well, me and you should do a futures week where we just actually do money bet on futures, and we just pick like 10 to 15 different futures, because I know MBD in the chat is always talking about his future bets.
Oh,
yeah, we should lasso together all the obscure ones and let's make some money this year. Catalina wine mixer.
I'm in.
I'm all for making money. Just count me in whatever I need to do. I'll be
Renee,
there.
please tell me you know Catalina wine mixer.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
That I know from Step Brothers. See, now you're coming back into my range of movies, guys.
I want to make bank, bro. I was worried. I didn't know.
Mixer.
All right,
Listen, we're just a little different with our movie taste, but there's it's a Venn diagram. There's some overlap, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
Lisa,
we just gotta find that.
did talk about the Stephenson Cotham connection as a plus. That's a huge reason why hopefully he'd be great to join the Phillies, because he's already been improving, as we saw last year with Tampa Bay. Come on over with Gotham and prove some more. All right. So we will have John joining us shortly, guys. So we're taking this.
But
trio
before we
to a
do
quartet.
that, Renee, before we get to John, let me tell you about Game Time. Because, again, I used it last night. My wife listens to the show. She heard the $20 off your first purchase. Boom, my Christmas ticket, or my Christmas present, which was tickets to a show last night at the Fillmore, $20 off. Boom, that easy. Use code PHLY. It is an awesome app to buy tickets to your favorite events nearby, whether it's sports, music, comedy, theater events. They have killer last-minute deals with the best price guarantee, so you can stop stressing and start thinking about all the fun you're going to have. They have flash deals, image of your seat views, lowest seat price guarantee, event cancellation protection, job loss protection. Basically, Game Time has your back, and it is the place for last-minute deals. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the best price. If you find tickets in the same section or row for less, Game Time's going to credit you back 110% of the difference. They're the fastest growing ticket app in the country for a reason. Buy tickets in a matter of seconds. 2 taps, 2 times for me, Utah, and you're all set. Tickets are sent directly to your phone, so you never have to dig through your emails at the gate. They just make a great gift all the time. So download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PHLY for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, just create an account and redeem code PHLY for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
Keanu Reeves. I heard that, Utah.
Oh, you know that one. 2 for 2. Renee's on fire on this snow day. Utah,
I just got to be home. I thrive better.
Yeah.
Utah, give it to you. All right. So, listen.
Nice. Lisa used Game Time for tickets to tomorrow's Flyers-Avs game. Love it, Lisa.
Yay. Take advantage of these deals. Listen, I've done the same thing. I used the FOCO code. I've used the codes myself because why not save money in today's economy, as this guy
in this economy?
There it is. All right, let's take this trio up a notch and make it a quartet because it is Fridays with Foley. Fridays with Foley. Woo!
Look at us.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Nice hat, Tyler.
Yeah,
I love
you guys are twinning.
Yeah,
I here except for me. I
had to get the dad hat version. Tyler's a little more stylish.
Nice. I'm getting there. Don't worry. It's closing in fast.
Wow. Next time, let me
John,
know.
are you getting any snow,
guys?
Did you get any snow where you are, John?
Yeah, it's a mess. And you know, trying to enjoy the snow day, but we got 2 kids here. It's not the same.
Yeah, as soon as
it's not the same
as the show,
as snow days of old.
Yeah, as soon as the show ends, I'm filling a flask of bourbon up and taking the kids out to sledding. I'm looking forward to it. I haven't been sledding in a long time.
Well, I just laugh at the people that are currently shoveling and stuff, and it's still. Are you guys those types? Because I'm the type.
No,
of,
I'm waiting for it to finish.
Yeah, let it fall. I'm not going to shovel it and then come back and have to. Well, I'm not shoveling it in general, but yeah, there's a lot of people that are.
Congrats on all your success.
Bunkering in.
No, that's one of the very few good things about renting and not owning. Is I'm not shoveling anything out there. I pay my rent. You guys can go do it.
Right, and that's exactly it. They come by, they drop the rock salt, they shovel. They were even out there with a leaf blower at like midnight on Monday. I was like,
you don't see it as much anymore. Like kids going door to door with the shovels.
So we
just like trying to make $5.
Yeah, John, we had some kids knock at the door the other day, and it was just one of the days it was really cold, and they were offering to walk people's dogs for money. But when the snow hits the ground, I haven't seen them around. You know,
interesting.
If you're gonna hustle, you gotta hustle in the snow, man.
Yeah, they're trying to work the system here. That's not how it goes. You gotta come out in the snow.
Listen, not to sound old, John.
Marshall Lynch, that they don't even go outside anymore.
I was gonna say, not to sound old.
These days,
they're not shoveling. They're making TikToks. Let's be honest. So instead of shoveling. No, they're making
watching,
a TikTok about
what is it? It's the Squirtle jazz flute. What is this Flyers
jazz
song? The Yaz flute. It's the sax, the Squirtle sax. What is this? What are the kids talking about, Tyler? It's been in my head all day. I can't get.
What is this? Anchorman?
Unreal. Jamie. Okay.
It's in everybody's head. It's stuck.
Can you sing it again? Because I don't know that song.
Nope. That was all you get, Renee.
Darn it. Well, listen, we got 2 seconds of Jamie singing and dancing. So small victory for the day. I saw a little head bob in there. That's a win. We're done. That's it. Show's over. All right, John. So it's been quite an eventful week for you as you've been participating in the winter tour with Rob and the gang. What's this week been like for you? And what have you really enjoyed most about being able to be involved with all of the work that the Phillies have been doing this week to give back? It started with Martin Luther King Day, where they were beginning their week of service and getting out in the community and hanging with, whether it's going to schools or going down into Kensington and giving out food. There's been a lot of great things. What's been the most enjoyable part about this week of fun for you?
Yeah, it's been incredible. This is stuff that the Phillies do a lot of behind the scenes, and it doesn't always get publicized. I think, they've had a million events this week. And if you check the Phillies Twitter account, they've got like one snapshot of Rob coaching up a little leaguer. But let me just give you a rundown real quick of everything the Phillies have been involved with. On Monday, volunteering at the Strawberry Mansion Learning Center, which offers free after school care and some summer programming for residents in the area. They hosted a clinic for RBI baseball, reviving baseball in inner cities at Citizens Bank Park. They visited a school that was one of the top performers in their Fanatic About Reading program, which is an entirely separate program that they do. And then one that was really special to me because it's in the neighborhood I grew up in is they serve meals at the St. Francis Inn, which I have to tell you is an incredible organization. And after going there, it's the type of thing that just really, really warms your heart. And it's not, so Rob Thompson was there, Brandon Marsh. I'm going to have a whole write-up of it on allphilly.com shortly, hopefully today. But
and John, I saw you say Marsh flew in just from Arizona just for this event, which I think is underrated cool.
Yeah. This isn't happen to be around. Maybe I'll come help out. This is flew in from Arizona into the ice and snow of Philadelphia. It comes to Kensington Ave, and just sort of I wasn't trying to be in their way or in their face, but just sort of watching from afar, you could just see how genuine Marsh is. He's everybody loves Brandon Marsh already, but if you could see what I saw, so St. Francis Inn, it's an incredible organization. For about 40 years, they've been serving folks in need on Kensington Ave. They've never missed a day. That includes through fires. I was talking to Father Michael Duffy, who sort of heads the whole thing up. Through fires, through the giant snowstorms of the 90s, through the pandemic when they weren't able to actually serve sit-down meals, which they like to do, but they were able to package things and hand them out to folks. And for a lot of folks on Kensington Ave, that may be the only meal they have that day. The day I was there, they served 200 to 300 individuals in need that were lined up early, out in the cold, came in. And what they do, they treat this, they were very clear when we first got there that they treat this like a restaurant. This isn't like a soup kitchen situation. Folks come in, they sit down at one of the 40 tables. So a line sort of is always there. You've got a couple hundred and only room for 40 tables, but then it's treated like a restaurant. Everybody has 2 tables each. Brandon Marsh had his 2 tables. He takes their orders. He's figuring out what they want. I mean, some of the stuff like the main meal is smell good. I see somebody asking for the name of the organization. It's called St. Francis Inn. And I just can't say enough about them. It's a beautiful thing. So you had Rob Thompson just plating roast beef, potatoes, vegetables. You had Brandon Marsh picking that up and taking it to folks. I saw him really trying his best to make sure that each person got their preferred dessert from the dessert cart. All the food is donated.
If you want your waiter to have a little speed and get the right dessert, I mean, Brandon Marsh's guy, right?
Yeah, he's a fast guy, right? So I mean, I'm going on and on, but I can't say enough about it. It's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, folks in Kensington, the ones that are really struggling, often very dehumanized in some of these videos you see online. So to see an organization like this that hasn't missed a day in 40 years, feeding people every day, 7 days a week, sit down dinners. It's contagious.
It's really cool that they make it like a restaurant.
Yeah.
They give them that experience and not just feel like they're at another soup kitchen or food kitchen. So, that's beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. 23 hours out of the day, you might be out on the streets, but for an hour, all the servers, all the frequent volunteers were on a first name basis with a lot of the folks that come in because they see them every day. And it's not what you think of. Yeah, exactly. When you think of like soup kitchens or something, this is something different and it's something beautiful.
And that's the type of stuff that makes it more open for people to want to come in there, because you don't feel in that, like you said, for that hour, for that time, you don't feel like you're a charity case. You feel like you can be treated like everybody else. These are friends. This is your community. So I really enjoy the fact that you had a chance to go down there, check it out, see what was going on. For everybody in the chat, of course, and those listening later on podcast platforms, John, you're dropping articles about your experiences this week with the team out on the winter tour. So you'll have more details there where they can check it out, as well as your deep dive into prospects. I know we'll get into our prospect of the day later on in this show. But John, it's been great to see you a part of it, and I've been enjoying the videos, and I'm looking forward to seeing more from the piece. But guys, while we have John on the show, we're gonna up the ante here because we've got some Phillies trivia to get into. All right, don't think that just because we're at home, the book didn't make it.
Well, the book didn't make it yesterday, so.
But I was saving it for today because I knew it was gonna be a snow day, and I feel like it's more fun with John too. Mm-hmm. All right. So, John, every day or every Tuesday and Thursday, but today is since it's Friday, it's an honorable mention day.
Well, we need John's buzz-in sound.
I know, and I feel like So here's how
I'm a goat. Tyler is a what's yours, Tyler?
I guess it's like a siren sounding thing. It was just the first thing that came to my head, and now it sounds really.
I think you guys need to refresh for the people that are here that may not know your sound. So.
By the way,
mine's gonna be
really quick shout out to MBD in the chat. He's a beautiful man. Just donated to the St. Francis Inn in your name, John. Well done, sir. Bringing light to that.
Hey,
MBD, you're the best.
MBD, that's the man right there. Good job. It's money couldn't be more well intentioned, more well spent.
That's awesome. We got some great people here in the PHLY community, and it's growing, and we'll make it bigger and better than ever soon. So MBD, we see you, we appreciate you, buddy.
I like it. Now, guys, we do have trivia. So here's how this works. And for those in chat, you are allowed to participate as well. You just gotta be really quick on the button of typing in the answer. So we are going to have today's theme of catchy nicknames, which I'm thinking is going to be too easy for you guys, but that's fine. And instead of ringing a bell, you have to make your sound, and then that's what signals that you can answer the question. So Jamie,
so John, what do you got? What's your sound?
John, what's yours?
Does it have to be an animal sound?
No, it can be anything.
Can I pick any sound?
Yeah.
All right.
Something ridiculous.
Buzz. Is that, I guess that's
good. That's good. Yeah.
Buzz. That's me.
I'm a snake.
Tyler, what is your new sound? You've changed?
I was just going to be a bell, but you said since it can't be a bell, I guess I'll go with the bell. I'll go ding ding ding.
Barbara Carroll says go moo. You could go.
Yeah. Oh, moo. All right, I'll moo. All right.
But I want to hear a little more ooh. I don't want to just hear moo.
It's going to be very like baritone.
Let me hear
That's
Tyler.
Pretty good, Jamie.
I do a lot of animal noises with the girls.
I'm going to say, dad mode is in full effect. Dad mode has to be. All right, guys. The category again, catchy nicknames. Which nickname did Steve Carlton go by?
Buzz, buzz, buzz. Buzz, buzz.
I actually feel like I heard the moo first.
Oh, okay.
Lefty.
Ding, 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 you are correct. 1 point for Tyler. Woohoo! All right. What was Roy Halladay's real first name?
Moo.
Go ahead.
Leroy.
Tyler. No.
Is it really?
No, it's not Leroy.
No, Moo. I got it accurately. No, wait. Moo. I'll do it again.
Leroy?
That's his middle name.
Is it?
Leroy?
Yeah. I don't know.
His real first name is Doc, as far as I'm concerned.
No.
Sorry, I forgot the buzz.
His first name's Harry.
Harry?
Harry.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
That is correct. How did you know that?
Wait, he's Harry Leroy Halliday?
I don't know about
Leroy.
Leroy.
Roy? That's weird.
I assume it's Leroy, but yeah, Harry's his first name.
It could be
You just blew my mind.
Roy.
Yeah, there was a huge leap in difficulty from question 1 to question 2. I was so ready to buzz in. Then.
Yeah, I had nothing.
Sorry about that, guys. My bad. The next one is going to be easier. This one's probably too easy. Let me skip that one. This one's easier still, though. Which nickname did Shane Victorino go by?
Buzz.
Good job, John. I heard the buzz.
Yeah, buzz.
What?
For the
I
flying
thought I was
Hawaiian.
in.
For the Flying Hawaiian. And shameless plug, if you check out our Phillies prospect profiles on PHLY, we've got possibly the potential of another Flying Hawaiian. So I'll just leave that teaser out there. Direct everyone to the website.
And while we're at it, according to Google, Tyler is correct. It was Harry Leroy.
See, I knew Leroy was in
there. The third. Not even a first or second.
Not.
There you go. Ran in the family. All right, Jamie, this is your time to tie things up. No pressure. Which nicknames did former Philly Richie Ashburn go by? There it is. Go ahead,
He's
Jamie.
right here. He is Whitey. Whitey.
Is there something else?
Yeah, Whitey.
Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
There's another one.
Wait, what was the question again? I thought it was just Richie Ashburn's nickname.
Apparently he has multiple.
What am I missing?
He
does.
Nickname.
Oh, shit.
Harper's saying Whitey in the chat also. Everybody, Mickey's got it. All right. Everybody in the chat's been correct too.
His
Jamie-
whiteness? Wait. I don't think I know his other nickname.
Oh, I love
Something about his speed or running.
I'm not gonna play on this round. I'm Googling it just for my own accord.
All right. So Whitey is, of course, his nickname that we all know. A lot of people did not know he's got a second nickname. It is Putt Putt.
Yes, that's right. Because he was sort of putt around the bases or something.
Putt Putt.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You could have given me
I did not know that one.
Yeah, learning something new. All right, so we are all tied up. I feel like we should have a tiebreaker.
Uh-oh.
Do it.
All right, here we go. What is Mitch Williams' nickname?
Buzz.
All right, I'm gonna let. Oh, dang it! This is a lot of pressure.
Who was it?
Everybody yell it out at once.
I feel like it was Tyler, but I don't know how to choose. I feel so rude. All right, Tyler, I heard the move first.
Wild Thing.
It is Wild Thing for the win. Chris Lemmer got it in the chat also. Yeah, Barbara's saying for his golf. That's why he was putt-putt.
Okay.
That makes sense.
There you go. Well, this has been fun, guys. I had a blast. There's a lot of cool nicknames in here. Pete Rose's nickname, Gary Matthews, Greg Lazinski. A lot of cool ones in here. But good job, guys. That's another edition of our trivia brought to you by me.
Hey, real quick, I want to mention the only reason we have these nicknames is because people helped work them out, and we really need some help on nicknames for the Phillies prospects we've been profiling every day on PHLY. This can make or break. Jamie, I know you talk about the name test. One way you can overcome a name test failure is by having a pretty legit nickname. So everybody in the chat, make sure you check out the profiles and make sure you get these kids some good nicknames, because it could determine the course of their career.
It could. John, I got to be honest. We went through our names yesterday. I don't sound like a baseball player. I don't think John Foley sounds like a baseball player either. So, I hate to break that to you.
Maybe like if I had gone by Jack or something, missed opportunity.
Well, if you went like Foles,
putt Foley.
John, one thing I did want to ask you this week, real quick, before we move on to Guess That Swing and all that. You got to spend a little bit of time around Orion. Does he? I know, like, you know, his motto on the mound. Wait, let me pull it up, just because I don't want to get it wrong. His simple rules on the mound are: don't be a bitch, don't suck, don't break rules 1 and 2. Like, he seems like he's got the right headspace to be a high leverage guy. Does he was your sense that he's like really ready and up for this challenge this year? Because I think they're counting on him a lot.
I really do think they are counting on him. You know, they're obviously, you can tell they're shopping in the free agent relief pitcher market. And now they're not going to do anything crazy and sign X as a starter. It sounded like they were close before they. But in terms of how Orion goes, it seems like he has exactly the right attitude, but he's so young. That's, I mean,
that was
the challenge.
Like, damn.
Yeah, people don't recognize the challenge of going from single A ball, double A, triple A, all the way up to the majors and pitching in the postseason. I mean, that's an incredible thing for anybody to do. So that's amazing in and of itself. Now, does he have the aura of like a Mariano Rivera coming in and just like game over? You know, not yet, because he's a teenager, right? Like he's a young guy. I know there were some comments when people were sort of commenting on his video or his mannerisms, maybe not looking super comfortable. One thing I do want to say is that's not necessarily the same situation as being on the mound, his comfort zone. Like he's not used to dealing with, 1,000 cameras in his face yet, maybe, but that doesn't mean he's not comfortable and confident in himself on the mound. And it's a very different thing.
Like the Nick Sirianni thing, like his introductory press conference. People were roasting him. I'm going, the guy's on Zoom. Like, Zoom mostly sucks. Like, it's going to be awkward for him. That doesn't mean he's not comfortable on the sidelines. To your point.
It doesn't have anything to do with how he's coaching now. I don't know. We're starting to think maybe our first impressions with Sirianni were on the mark. We'll set that aside, and I'll just say, Ryan Kirkering, anyone around the Phillies organization is very high on the kid, very possibly the closer of the future. I just worry that they're making the same mistake that they did in the postseason. Well, entering the postseason, what's much of a mistake? Kimbrel was just kind of gassed, and you needed somebody to step in that high leverage right-hander role, and Kirkering did his best. I would just like them to see. I would like to see them have a little bit more support with right-handed pitchers in the pen, so that you're not immediately thrusting Kirkering into that role. Though, if they've looked at him and they feel he's ready, maybe that's how they're ready to enter the season. So I guess we'll find out. But he's got a bright future. You can tell. I mean, anybody that can make that kind of leap is.
Yeah. And that's the biggest thing I feel like we all took away from his September debut. You could see the poise, even at a young age. He didn't seem very rattled. I did chuckle, though, because I saw a lot of comments on your tweet about when you had him and Rob stand there, and there were a lot of people captioning the picture of, like, Rob looks like he's his dad and he's about to lecture him. Like, the way they were standing was really funny. He's so young. He's got a lot of growth and potential, and it's exciting to see how that's going to pan out this year. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh,
I just wanted to say, that was a candid shot that a friend of mine, a teacher, Clara Barton, sent me, and he's, it's a very. Was the tweet by Zoe, like your biggest fear as a grown man?
Oh yeah, it's like getting roasted by
Philadelphia teenagers. Like, that's terrifying. Pitching in the postseason is one thing in the ninth inning, but walking out into an assembly at a Philadelphia school, I mean,
terrifying.
John, Yeah, I did a career fair recently for a friend of mine that's a principal in Center City, and it was all the juniors and seniors coming through, and I was just like, shit, man, just don't get roasted today. Like, that was my only goal. I was so nervous. I put on my best Jordans. I was like, just keep your head down and don't say much. And,
Kids are mean, Jamie. Kids will just say
I
things
know.
to you. They don't care.
So mean.
They call me some old head nut ass, and I'm the next thing.
Where you going in that
nut
ass
tie,
old head?
See, I have different issues because I look like I could still be in high school, apparently, to some people, depending on how I'm dressed for the day. So I walk into school and they're like, "You're supposed to be in class right now, kid. What are you doing?"
My heart breaks for you, Renee. That's
a good thing, Renee.
Oh,
We'll cherish that later in life.
All right, guys. Well, I'm glad we got to do trivia, but unfortunately, I have to play the game I don't like. Guess that stands.
I'm on a cold streak here.
So finally, Jamie has gotten the last two wrong. That has been the only saving grace for me in this game because I've been thoroughly enjoying the fact that Jamie's also in a slump. And hopefully that continues today. You can go out the week through the last 3 days. Proud of you. All right, Tyler, what do we got?
All right, guys. Here's your player for today. I hope at least one of you gets this right.
Oh, gosh.
I got it, Tyler.
There's one defining trait here that if you can catch pretty quickly, you're going to get this very easily.
I caught it.
Oh, wait. I know what you mean now. Now you're giving me second. Oh, no.
No, don't second guess yourself.
But I don't think he wears.
You.
I think you're talking about the left elbow, right?
Or is the right hand something strange is going. This is a right-handed batter.
See,
and his right hand is like halfway off the bat. Is that?
See,
is it the left elbow guard?
I said that, and I think you guys are thinking too much into it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go with my gut. Because I'll second guess myself all weekend if I don't.
Are we?
All right, Jamie's locked.
You texting these?
Text Tyler separately, not in the
text
thread.
Tyler separately.
But the left elbow.
All right,
I'm having second guess. I'm having real second guesses here, but I think
I think I got it.
All right, I'm in. So it's too late, regardless.
Wait. I think. Hold on.
Are you changing your answer?
Wow.
Wait, I kind of think I am.
Okay.
Are we sure this is a righty?
Yes. Yes.
I think so.
I mean, I can see how it's a little lefty looking too.
All right.
But I think
John
it's a righty.
Is locked in. Jamie's locked in. Renee,
the elbow guard is messing me up, Tyler.
Oh God, I changed it, but I don't know.
I need you to pick one of the two of those that you just gave.
The second one. Oh my God.
Right.
Wait.
Ready?
I don't know
how this is going to work on StreamYard. We'll see what happens.
Ooh.
Yeah, there it is. All right.
I freaking knew it.
See, I forgot about the elbow guard with him. I thought it was Bohm right away, and then I was like, wait, he doesn't wear an elbow guard, and there it is.
So what I was saying was the flow was the definitive. Like the back of the hair was the definitive trait there.
That's true. I would say that's one of the definitive traits. I would also say once I saw the full picture, you can see it's that classic.
Elbow guard threw me off because I had the hair, and then I switched it up because I was overthinking. I had it. I got a point. I'm giving myself a point. I said boom.
You deserve it.
No, you didn't. You changed your answer. You don't get it.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way games are played today.
You texted me, Bo.
I don't know. I'm gonna change.
And then changed it.
Made me second guess.
Thank God I stuck with my gut.
What I love that you can see in that Bohm pick is you can tell that's him just getting the bat on the ball, even though it jammed him a little bit, and that's another defining Bohm trait. Somebody that puts the ball in play when there's a runner on third.
Yeah,
and
he does a really good job of getting the bat like level through the zone, regardless of where it is. I'd say that's his strong suit. Yeah, that's probably also why he doesn't have a lot of pop, because his launch angles are probably not great.
Yeah. All he needs is another 15 pounds of muscle, and then we'll really see what happens.
Good job, guys. We all got a point today.
Yes. Well,
congrats to all of us. We're all winners here.
Except Renee, who was wrong.
I'm the only one that got it wrong.
You gave two answers, and one of them, the one you went with, was wrong. Well, who did you go with? JT?
She said Bone first.
Don't worry about it on the second one.
And then changed the answer.
I did not cheat, Dave. I did not cheat, but the elbow guard, and then Jamie was doing all that talking, and it made me overthink things because I felt like Bone was too obvious. All right. We didn't get down on the farm today, and it's already 1:02. So, guys, executive decision. Do we want to run through it quick, or do we want to save it?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just do it.
Us going overtime?
Do it quick.
Overtime.
Yeah, of course.
All right.
And
We're now entering overtime. So, down on the farm today. And, John, feel free to hang out for Down on the Farm. Come on down on the farm with us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Down on the farm today, we are deep diving Carlos de la Cruz. 24-year-old, 6'8", 210 pounds. He's our number 16 prospect, although I've seen him as high as number 6 on some rankings. Spent all of 2022
I believe.
with AA Reading. Yes, 129 games, 24 home runs, 67 RBIs, 160 strikeouts, and a 259 average. His raw power, 70-80, game power, 35-60. And some of the grades that I've seen for him, his hit at a 45, power at a 55, run at a 50, arm 50, field 50, overall 45. A 6'8" Carlos de la Cruz, born in Yonkers, New York, was not a roster invitee this year. But given his size, reports have said De La Cruz has a solid feel to hit with a clean swing from the right side of the plate. And there is work he needs to do in terms of his overall approach with better pitch selection and discipline, allowing him to tap into his considerable raw power, which could be a plus with those adjustments. He's an average runner, though, but he gets better once he gets underway. And as a tall person, I can say most tall people are not quick with our first step and explosive, but with our strides, we get faster as we go. So 6'8", guys. Huge.
Yeah. Everybody that sees him play says they're remarked. They leave being, impressed with his athleticism for such a big guy. First, let's start with the name test. Absolutely sounds like this guy's going to Cooperstown. Like that is a Hall of Fame baseball name. Like this kid, it's written in the stars. He was made to be a ball player. Graduated the same high school as Manny Ramirez, George Washington High up in the, I believe the Bronx. And if he can get a little bit of osmosis from Manny, in those high school hallways, then that would be pretty tremendous. As you said, it's all like
baseball. That's why I never made a career. There's nobody good in my high school. That's the problem.
That's it.
It wasn't my lack of talent.
That's exactly it.
It's definitely not on you, Tyler. It's the school.
You weren't breathing the George Washington high school hallway air.
That's my uncle,
stuff.
George.
But 6'8", that's a large human being. I happened to be at spring training last year. I happened to be at a game where Carlos de la Cruz just balled out, crushed a home run. They had him playing at first base, and he sort of made a falling catch into the stands. And he just sort of, obviously 6'8", he stands out. So he's somebody that everyone's always going to be paying attention to. But he looked good then. That's the only time I saw him in person. I can also add that he was one of the players who stuck around the longest. For those that care about these things, he was one of the players who stuck around. Yeah, signing autographs after the game, just long after the game ended.
That's awesome.
Yeah, very humble dude. 6'8", baseball star, could be on the Sixers. And he's sitting there signing autographs for every kid that came his way just long after the game ended. So I'm excited about Carlos de la Cruz.
We talked about him at the Rule 5 time because he wasn't selected by anybody. And we were talking about, is that a good thing that you get to protect your own guy, or is that a bad thing that teams don't really have any interest in him? Debatable. But, his power kind of took off like 2 years ago. Some scouts fear that Reading's, hitter-friendly ballpark might have inflated those numbers some, but he backed it up again last year. He is a 90th percent. I know this is sexy, not safe for work for Tyler Zulli. 90th percentile exit velocity, as evidenced by his 108 mile an hour velo, which did lead to that uptick in power. So, you know, he's got like the raw tools. If he can put it together, he's going to be a fun one to follow this year.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of the reports have been better than expected, which is always a good thing. I think, and I know different people in the chat are talking about his size. Lisa, you're talking about how you've seen him play in Reading. He is ridiculously tall. Good game, not so good game. You know, I think one of the biggest things is, besides his height, the fact that off the bat, you're like, whoa, that's a tall guy. And he's actually better than many expect and covers ground a lot better as well. So De La Cruz definitely passes the name test. I don't even know if he would need a nickname. Yeah. I don't think he would even need
I think he can just go straight with his name. And how about having 6'8" target over at first with the stretch? I mean, nothing's getting by him, right?
On him.
Oh, man.
I'm impressed to think about.
Here's my question with this guy. 10, maybe more than 10, 20 years ago, I don't know if he translates well to the major league game, sans the steroid era, take the steroid era out of the equation because of his high strikeout rates. He strikes out at about 28, 29, 30%.
He's boomer bust. Yeah.
He's very boomer bust. Now in today's game that is, you know, diminishing strikeout care, you know, pop, exit velo, and more importantly than anything, the launch angle that we always talk about. This guy probably has a place in baseball at some capacity, but I look at the numbers in like 24 home runs at Reading stands out to you enough. But I think in order for this guy to be a contributing everyday major league first baseman or major league outfielder, he's going to need to get his power numbers up into the 30s. Very like minimum, like he's going to have to be 34, 35. Because I just don't think a player of his build and the way that he approaches his plate approach is set up. I don't know if he has sustainable success at 22, 24 with this high strikeout rate.
Yeah, no, it's a great point. I think the other concern is the fact that he, as of this past October, did just turn 24. So he's on the older side for prospects. So it's kind of like, you talk boom or bust. It's also like now or never. That his timeline is getting shorter of him to be able to get an opportunity in the majors. So yeah, we're definitely planning. Oh wow, there you go, James. We're definitely planning a road trip of our own up to Reading because we've got to see some of these players in action ourselves and have a chance.
And I've never been.
To see them.
I talk about it every single year. Me and my cousin are always like, dude, let's take the kids up to Reading and catch a game.
Awesome.
And we've just never executed on it. So I'm going to drag all you with me. And we're going to make it happen this summer for sure.
Well, yeah.
All right,
I've heard great things about the ballpark. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I've been up to the Lehigh Valley. I've been out to Reading back when in my Lehigh days. It's a fun trip. We can do it. So we definitely will go. We have a lot of things on our radar for the future. We're going to give our own rankings. We're going to give our all-time Phillies. We're going to take some road trips. Of course, we're going to be headed down to Clearwater in March, where we'll have our PHLY road trip down to spring training. We're going to take a road trip up to Reading and Lehigh. We're going to be all over the place. So lots to come here. So we appreciate you guys following, as always, tuning in, joining the conversation, having fun with us. It was a great day because we got all the trivia right and we had fun. So thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button. Make sure to follow.
Renee, we didn't do daily positivity. I have one. It's real quick. I was
feeling so positive already. All right. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's all right. This is number 14 on our list. All right. I think there's going to be less holes in the lineup this year, making the trade deadline an easier approach to clearly upgrade the team with. I don't think it's going to be one of those things where you have like 2 or 3 holes and you have to like pick and choose. I think there's just going to be like one thing to address. And I think it'll make Dave Dombrowski in the front office's job easier at the trade deadline to hone in on just one area.
Yeah, that's good. You only have to make one move. It's just go get Will Smith at the deadline and everything's fine.
Yeah, he wins World Series.
I mean, you definitely get the feel that as the trade deadline approaches, it's very probable that you'll have that sort of one player away mentality. And yeah, exactly. That makes the job so much easier for Dombrowski to go out there, focus on the one thing they need and plug that hole. So, I'm feeling positive. Thanks, Jamie.
So there you have it. Number 14. We got 10 more to go. It's going to get tough.
It will. It definitely will. That is just our positivity exclusively for the Phillies. There's a lot of positive thoughts we need to send other ways around Philly sports, Marshall Lynch, starting with the Eagles. I do see some other positive thoughts in the chat of having a double bourbon in about 3 hours. What is your guys' winter drink?
3 hours?
My bourbon will be poured in about 10 minutes, maybe 7. I am good.
You got a longer walk to your bar cart than I do. That's why that's the
yeah.
How about
I got some Blanton's, I got some Buffalo Trace, and I got some Eagle Rare waiting for me upstairs. So I'll take my pick of those 3, and a flask will be filled as we go out to the sledding hill.
That's pretty good. What about some red wine against the snow? It definitely feels like a red wine day.
Oh yeah.
What time is it again?
1:12.
All right, but there's no laws on a snow day, right?
Yeah. The beauty of a snow day, you get to start early. You're not
Renee, can I live vicariously through you today? Because the days I miss being a city resident, like number 1 on the list, pre-kids, snow day in the city, going to like your favorite, neighborhood bar. Mine used to be New Wave, and just hunkering down by a window, watching the snowfall and day drinking was absolutely one of the most fun days. So please do that for us.
Yeah, I'll be at my neighborhood bar. It's called Renee de la Couch. And I have a nice window there as well, where I get a beautiful view and get to people watch all the struggling folks that are driving by. I actually haven't even drank any liquor since like January 1st because I've been sick. And I feel like today I have to break that streak. So
whiskey's good for sickness.
It is like a hot toddy or whiskey. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
So today is the day that I maybe finish off this hot chocolate and then upgrade a little bit. So I'm excited. Enjoy all of your snow days, sledding, drinking some wine, hanging with the dog. Tyler, I thought your dog was going to be here today.
Yeah, I am stunned. She didn't bark once.
Wow.
And, she hates people at the door. Like, she thinks she owns the entire complex. And so, like, we have a semi-private entrance. So there's 4 of us, like, in the one well. And anytime anybody walks in or out of their house, she barks like a crazy person. I am stunned you didn't hear her once.
Wow.
She respects the show.
I will say I'm impressed. No kids and no dogs.
That's what that means.
Okay.
I feel like kids and dogs, as soon as you start on any sort of Zoom or video chat or anything like that, their ears ring and they come running in. So impressive that we're okay. There it is, JB. Oh no! John raised you.
It's Schmitty.
I know, but like, why?
Michael Jack Schmidt. You
Michael
guys,
Jack.
You missed this generation, right?
You guys are slowing me down from getting closer to my couch and my wine. And I'm gonna go find a nice movie to watch. Enjoy your snow day, everybody. Be safe out there. Definitely have fun. Enjoy the weekend. We'll be back on Monday without the bobbleheads, but back talking more baseball, more trivia, more updates, more down on the farm with us here at PHLY Phillies Podcast. So I'm leaving. So for Tyler, let me point. I feel like we're the Brady Bunch. For Tyler, for Jamie, for John.
Other way. Nope. There you go. Oh, yep. Now
there it is. For John, for Tyler, for Jamie, whatever. And I'm Renee. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys back on Monday for more PHLY Phillies Podcast. Adios, amigos.
Have a great weekend.
We all silly like the mayor.